The Thunder Years, Part 3, Moon-Earth System.
I can't understand how I can return to this wretched medium after going through the unspeakable, watching and listening to the Thunder Years. At an unconscious level, there's a lot going on here. However, you can say that about anything. Such heavy weights are not necessarily going to make something valuable. In the case of the Moon-Earth comparison, I just have to be on the ground floor where this idea could really infiltrate human consciousness. Are we looking at science? Pseudoscience? Quasi-science? Is the idea covered by folklore and mythology? Words and ideas viewed as individual organisms? By now you have probably heard of memes. Back in the day when Dawkins first outlined the idea in a really conscious way, Dawkins was mainly dealing with words of mouth and eye-to-paper transmissions. The computer, software, and transmissions lines of this day and age can do some incredible things. What would the average person be capable without these things? An older researcher in the field of memes, William S. Burroughs, has simply restated what was already known to linguists. The word is the virus. Linguists would try to be specific and say that any word in any language can potentially become a loan word that enters a foreign language with its original meaning mainly intact. Tomato, hurricane, poncho, totem, coyote. These are all loan words from American Indian languages that became part of the English. English is especially likely to pick up loan words in contrast with other languages. This has caused English to have the most chaotic vocabulary, although some can argue that the loan words that have been picked up from other languages do conform or are made to conform in some way with Anglo-Saxon meanings and pronunciation. Burroughs, writing in his book, My Education, A Book of Dreams, sets up a mechanism for the Earth-Moon comparison. The moon map with the clock telegraphs the immense spans of time have passed since the near side of the moon has changed significantly. This in turn allows the moon's near side image to influence the Earth's plate tectonic movements.
Tectonic.
Yeah, I need to pause. I'm like, I read that wrong. Via light patterns, uneven gravity, animal migrations, and who knows what else. Creating a camera obscura or a mirage or some such thing. Billions of years is a long time. I do not think Burroughs was conscious of the theory. He was a degenerate drug addict who lacks a powerful estate. Let us not kid ourselves. You can try to visualize a place of learning from decades ago where people's immune systems were not totally primed for the rejection of various pseudosciences, quackeries, and other rubbish. Large media guys, I can't pronounce that word, sorry.
Conglomerations.
Conglomerations. As we know them today, were not present. In theory, Disney, Star Wars, or Trump would let it be known that there is a finger in this pie. It's my pie now. It's always been my pie. We can hear Trump trying to gross people out and establish ownership over valuables. Do the Southwest people actually know anything about the Earth-Moon illusion? The depiction of the planet Alderaan can be suggestive of the Moon-Earth system. However, it's kind of vague to say the least. The Southwest people are good at mingling words and names to create hidden meanings. This does not mean that the understanding geology. There is the theme of a crumbling republic and a corrupt empire. These themes can really trouble people because we can see the stuff at work here in America. It shouldn't have to be pointed out that the story of a decay could be applied any which way. Disney, despite its reputation, makes large campaign donations to Republican politicians. Larger donations than what they give to Democratic politicians. So you can intuit where they stand. Besides, this weird talking about a hideous rot, which is not detectable in the ordinary sense. Do I need Southwest, or does Southwest need me? I have mentioned folklore and mythology. Some cultural elements do seem to indicate that the mob psychology of humans is capable of intuiting this moon-Earth mirage. This was centuries ago, before insects and caffeine had come to rule the roost. Look at Britain. This would be Bricken, the brick on the moon. Other examples should be kept at bay. This doesn't have to be about human culture. Understand that human, he or it, will invent stories, myths, and legends, which show him or her in a good light. This mythology does not have anything to do with truth. We can realize that over centuries, some myths can create their own kind of truth. The Earth's environment does not have centuries to spare. However, if I were to tell you that things of ours here, our research group has determined. The early morning sun was going to cause earthquakes. The earthquakes were going to happen in a day or so anyways. Statistics indicate that early morning is more earthquake prone.
Because of the sun's rays.
Does this talk make me an expert in geology? Perhaps. It doesn't matter. Just take a look at the images.
Yeah, you may have noticed that John Meacham is listed in Wikipedia as Biden's speechwriter and a former editor of Newsweek magazine. And by coincidence, he has the birth date that matches 11/7 right above Brick over there on the moon. It's written. I know it sounds kind of weird. You just got to go and look at it yourself. It's not visible on this map.